We're holding Ois Ches. We'll do at least bekitzer the concepts of Ois Ches and Tes till the end of the Maimer. Just to mention one more thing from Ois Zayin, that the Rebbe once again, fourth time in the Maimer, mentions the names of all the Rabbeim. This time, unlike the other three times, it's not that each Rebbe says something else, and as we explained, mentioning the names of each one of the Rabbeim isn't just mentioning them, but bringing each one something special, a different concept, or the progressive drawing down of the Shekhinah down here, the progressive explanation and understanding of the Maila of the physical world, the different types of koiches that we get from each one for our avodah of shtus dikdusha. Here, it's one idea. All of the Rabbeim are one idea, but we still need the power of each one of the Rabbeim for this very same idea, which is that histalkos is not just something, or is not at all something of leaving, of going away, but rather of being here, and at the same time being here in a higher way. Something which Mitzvah Hashem, in continuation, we'll try and understand a little bit more. Now, in Ois Ches, the Rebbe says that that's the meaning of tzadikaya, this pater of a tzaddik that passes away. That means that despite all the things that didn't make sense, meaning when we come to bring down the Shekhinah through things that make sense, it doesn't come. Shtus dikdusha means that it doesn't make sense. Shtus dikdusha means that it can't be in seichel, because seichel, intellect, emotions, all of that is all still giluyim. That's all revealed aspects of godliness. That's all giving over something which is already there. In order to bring the very essence of Hashem, it has to not make sense. So it didn't make sense whether we look at the various things that happened before Yud Shvat of Tavshin Yud, whether it was in the sickness of the Frierdiker Rebbe, whether it was throughout the time in the imprisonment, all the various things that didn't make sense. And all that wasn't yet enough. And in order that there should be in order to bring down and reveal the essence of Hashem in the world, there had to be the silukan shel tzaddikim. Siluk, something which isn't removal, but rather drawing down in a level which can't be a continuation to the earlier one, because etzem and giluyim are not continuation, like we explained the other day, the difference between the connection between 0 and 1, and the connection between 1 and a billion, or the connection between a billion and infinity. That while 1 and a billion, there is a connection, but a billion and infinity, or 0 and 1, they're totally not connected. It's a new thing, it's histalkos, it's removal, it's changing. What happens through the change, through the histalkos, if we want to take it in the simple sense? In the simple sense, there's no need. A tzaddik doesn't have to pass away. There's no such a thing as a tzaddik passing away. There's histalkos. What's the point of histalkos? To come to a new idea which is totally beyond what the earlier one. To come from the Rebbe Maharash to the Rebbe Rashab, from the Rebbe Rashab to the Frierdiker Rebbe, each one needed to come now to the next level, which is Bein Aroich. And even more so, to come from the 6th generation to the 7th generation, to come to that Bein Aroich, there had to be the idea of Siluk and Shel Tzadikim, which is as bad and even worse than the Churban Beis HaMikdash. Just like, if we'll take the mashal, the Churban Beis HaMikdash wasn't in order that we should go to Golus. The Churban Beis HaMikdash was in order to come to the Gili of Mashiach. How did that happen when there isn't any more Giluyim, there isn't any more the regular way, not of the first, not of the second Beis HaMikdash? We need to come to a whole different Beis HaMikdash, which is incomparable to the earlier ones. The third Beis HaMikdash, the eternal Beis HaMikdash, and for that there had to be the Churban Beis HaMikdash. And that's what the Rebbe continues to say, that this is the most important thing that's being demanded of us, that we should know that we're in the 7th generation. We should know that we're not just other people in this world. We're in the 7th generation. So much was given for us. So many koiches were given for us. And what is it all about? What were we given? We were given the power to complete what the first one started, what Avraham started, or what the Alter Rebbe started. Bringing Shechina down here. But we were given the power to complete this. But the completion is dependent on continuing what was started then. And like the Rebbe said in the beginning of the Maimer, that the Rishon, the first, what did he do? He came to a place where they didn't know about Hashem, they didn't know about Aleph Beis. He put himself on the side. He put his own needs, his own spiritual needs, his own spiritual existence. He put it all on the side in order to have the idea of Vayikra. Not just Vayikra, but Vayakri. If I want to have my spiritual needs are for a purpose. And the purpose is Dira B'Tachtainim, which means that someone else should also scream. Not just he should say Keil Ha'olam, where the world and Elokus remain two separate things, because that's all still Giluyim. But Keil Ha'olam, where it's all one. That's all happens through. That's all the avoid of the first. It all becomes one. And that's what the Rebbe continues in the next days. A person can think, what I'm going to do what Avraham Avinu did. So he said, that's why we're told we were given these koiches. A person can't do what Avraham Avinu did, but we're continuation. We were given the koiches from Avraham Avinu through the Rabbeim, including all and each and every single one of the Rabbeim, that they paved the path, that we should be able to do this avodah. That's what it is. That's what Deira Shvi is. The 7th completes the beginning, completes the first one. And that's how we bring the Shechina down here in the physical material world. And as a result, there's what it says by Mashiach, V'nisa Ma'od. What's V'nisa Ma'od? Regarding Adam, it says, Adam is Rosh Tevis, Adam, David, Mashiach. Because that's the Seder Ishtalshalos. In the Ishtalshalos of the world in Giluyim, first is Adam, then David, then Mashiach. Mashiach is V'nisa Ma'od, becomes very uplifted. Mashiach, then Adam, then David, because we're going not in the way of Ishtalshalos. We're going not in a regular manner of things. We're going in a way of Etzem. And that's why Mashiach comes first, V'nisa Ma'od. So it becomes, as a result, we don't just go higher than Adam or Rishon, but we go to a level which is not just the way it was before the Chet, but where we're transforming everything. And that's where the Rebbe ends off the idea that the Rebbe, who is Mechulel Mipshainu Miduka Me'avineseinu Cholyenu Naso Machivenu Sivlam, what does that mean? He's carrying our sickness. The sickness is ours. The sickness is ours, the lack of the ability to reveal the essence of Hashem down here. The one who helps us who are down here, reveal it. So he's carrying our sickness. But just like he saw our pain, he's now going to redeem us. And here the Rebbe says an amazing thing. He's going to place us, to put us into a ray of light. That's all amazing, but that's all Giluyim. He'll give us the highest type of light, but that's not what it is. That's all Giluyim. The whole Maimer we're talking about that now. The Deira Shvi is about Etzem. So it's not enough Giluyim that will have spiritual light, but rather we're connected to the essence of Hashem. And the essence of Hashem, that's where it's all about, to be connected to Atzmos Ein Sof. And that's why the idea of connecting Atzmos Ein Sof is that everything that happened up until now is just in order to come to reveal godliness in this world, to come to the Gilui of Mashiach. And that's why the Rebbe adds after, when the Rebbe takes us out of Galus, and it's Hashem Yimlech Lo'elam Va'ed, then it will be the eternal, it will be constant, it will be all the time. And again, that happens for Siluk and Shal Tzadikim, then we get to a new level to the Etzem. And since we went through everything already, we had all of the ideas, we've done it all. Now it's dependent only on us. We are the Deira Shvi, the 7th, we're the one who are able to complete it. And so therefore we'll merit Zenzach mit den Rebbe to meet and to see the Rebbe here, down here, Lamata Me'asara Tvachim, and the Rebbe will take us out of Galus, because that's Atzmus. That's the ability to be able to do it. Now, if we can, before Mitzvah Hashem tomorrow, we're going to continue with the next Maimer, which is a very short Maimer. Hayesheves Baganim, it shouldn't take us very long. But before that, that's just to give a quick summary of what this Maimer Basi Legani is all about. Let's look at the world. Let's look at the difference between Nigla and Kabbalah. Everything in our world has two things. There's the physical and there's the spiritual. Hashem made a world in which we see physical, we're drawn by physical, our existence seems to be physical. Even in Torah and in Yiddishkeit, the Torah as we know it of Matan Torah, which started with Anochi Hashem Alekecha, revealing the spiritual and the physical, and yet what we're dealing with mostly in Torah and Mitzvahs is the physical aspect of the Torah and Mitzvahs. Then there's the Neshama part of Torah. Kabbalah teaches the secrets of Torah. Kabbalah teaches the Neshama of Torah, the godliness, the spiritual. More than that, our mission in the world seemingly is recognize the reality of Hashem, yearn to leave the physical contained Agbalas, the limitations of physicality, and yearn to connect to the essence of Hashem, to spirituality. Kabbalah takes us and tells us the Torah is not just the revealed essence. The physical world, there's a deeper neshama behind it, which is obvious. So let's not just follow our bodies, let's not just follow our physical desires, but connect to the spiritual. Not just have spiritual also, but make that the reality of life. Then there's something else. And seemingly, even Chassidus, which doesn't just reveal the spiritual, but Chassidus actually teaches us that physical and spiritual come together. Yet, how do we get to this connection of the physical and spiritual? Look at what the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, in Perek Lamed Beis. How does one get to true Avas Yisrael, which is the essence of the entire Torah and the basis of what Chassidus is? Don't look at your physical existence. Don't look at your bodily existence. That's what makes there be a separation between one Jew and another. Realize that the real existence is the neshama. Our neshamas are all one. Our neshamas are all connected to Hashem. There's no separation between one and the other. Deal with the reality, which is what we call spiritual. But there's still then a difference between the physical and spiritual, and in order to connect to Hashem, we have to realize the reality of the spiritual, of our neshama. Comes along the Rebbe and says there's something even deeper, which in essence that's what Chassidus is teaching, but even in the earlier generations of Chassidus we weren't able to concentrate on that. In order to get there, we had to deal with the spiritual. Comes the Rebbe and says the Avas Yisrael can be also from the physical existence. Realize what the reality of the physical existence itself is. Now, in order to understand that, let's look at two more things. Number one, why do we say that through our Avodah we're fixing the Chet Tzadas? What does it mean fixing? What did Adam Harishon do? The reality in the world is that Hashem's existence is in the world. Adam Harishon, through his sin of Eitz Hadas, caused it to leave. Stalik. The Eibishter's Shechina left this world, it went up to the next world. It was removed from this world. What are we doing? We're bringing it back down. That's the seeming thing. If we're bringing it back down, how through that are we fixing Adam Harishon's sin? We didn't fix it. We brought it down now. That's not fixing it. Adam Harishon's sin that made it go up. we're now bringing it back down. That's two different actions. Now it's back down. We didn't fix it. We did something else, which we had to do. It's like when the Alter Rebbe talks in Tanya about if you were supposed to say Krishma, and yesterday you didn't say Krishma, today you said Krishma, you're not fixing the fact that yesterday you missed Krishma, because yesterday you missed it, today is a new day. In the meantime, the Shekhinah left, and now we brought it back. Why is that fixing it? But what we understand from this Maimer, from what the Rebbe explains, is no. Actually, what we're doing is Adam Harishon was dealing with Shekhinah. The Iker Shekhinah was down here, but he could only relate to the Shekhinah, to the spiritual, as a separate entity from the physical. And therefore, he did Eitz Hadas. He was pulled in by the physical, which caused the fact that he didn't realize the reality of the world, and Hashem's presence couldn't be revealed anymore. Now when we're dealing is, we're revealing Iker Shekhinah, we're revealing the reality of the world, that the reality of the world is a lakus. We're not just bringing Hashem back into the world. Basi Legani means I came back to where I originally was, but how, the Rebbe explains, through Iker Shekhinah. What's Iker Shekhinah means revealing how the world is really a lakus all along. Not only that, but that is stalik that happened, Nistalka Shekhinah. What that really was the idea of removing it from its limitation. That it was limited into being two separate things, and revealing how it's really all one thing. Mr. Hashem, tomorrow we'll continue a little more with this.